All right, good news, guys. We reached the third and final part of the trilogy, and best news is that this is the shortest of the videos. So what we're going to look at in this video is understanding inflation and what that does for the economy. All right, guys, so in the simplest way possible, inflation is a general increase in the price of products. This is commonplace. And when we look at inflation, a lot of people, and you're going to hear inflation used as kind of this really negative term in economics, but you have to first understand what inflation is, what it means, and what it does, because it both has positive and negative aspects. So if you're looking at the example that I have up on the slide talking about Mighty Taco, so in 2000, the average Mighty Taco was going for 79 cents a piece, which was awesome. But in 2000, when I was a condiment engineer at Ted's, I was only making 4.35 an hour. Okay, so for minimum wage. So what we then flash forward to today, where we see the cost of a Mighty Taco is $1.79. So of course the price is inflated. It's still the exact same taco. It's still the same amount of ground beef, lettuce, tomato, cheese on a tortilla shell. Like none of that has changed. It's not some magical ground beef. But what's happened is that the price of the taco has increased. True, but so has minimum wage. All right. So back in the day, when I was only making 4.35 an hour or whatever it was, 79 cents was on par for being a fair price for the amount of money that people were making. Well, fast forward now 20 years, and of course, if your minimum wage has gone up, the price of all of your products are going to go up. And that's a good thing. That's a sign of growth in the economy. That means people are making more money, and if people are making more money, they're going to buy more products. And if you're going to buy more products, then sellers, they're going to increase the price of their products because they're going to be able to make more money. And if they're making more money, they're going to be able to hire more people. And if they're hiring more people, there's more money in the circular flow. And this is all a good thing as long as inflation stays in control. Now, the way that we track inflation is through the increase or decrease in the price of a product. So what they call it is the market basket. So what they're going to do is that they're going to track the increase or decrease of a price of however many products they want to, and that's going to give them a pretty interesting sign on where the economy is going. So they're going to look at products within a similar field, and then they're also going to look at products as a whole in different fields just to kind of get a vibe on where is the American economy. And as long as you're seeing a steady increase in price, that's a good thing for the market, because what it's showing is not only are prices going up, but as prices are going up in a steady fashion, it's also showing that Americans are making enough money where they can buy these products at a higher price, which is all along the line keeping us with a steadier and improving quality of life. So we're going to look at three different types of inflation. Now the first one, the creeping inflation, this 1 to 3% per year, causing no problems, that's a good thing. Like that's when we're talking about increasing rates of inflation. That's where we want to be. Somewhere between that 1 to 3%, like that is the perfect wheelhouse for the American economy. Because what you find is that on a given year, guys, everyone is usually going to make a pay increase. You're going to go up X amount of dollars. And as your pay increases, the price of goods are going to increase as well. So we look at this as being a proportional or a lockstep increase. But in reality, it's keeping everything relatively the same as it was before. Yes, the price of a Mighty Taco has gone up, but I'm also making more money. The problem would be is if the price of the Mighty Taco went up, but I wasn't making any more money. That would be a problem. So the next we look at is chronic inflation. This we see steady increase each month. Guys, that again, that's a problem. So chronic inflation and hyperinflation, the issue is that prices are continually going up. The problem is that I'm not making a continual increase in my income. That's the problem. So that's one of those things. Chronic inflation is a bad thing, and hyperinflation is the worst thing. So this is where, if you remember from last year with Mr. Murray talking about Germany in post-World War I, during the Great Depression, that they had such hyperinflation that people were literally burning dollars because the German mark had no value to it at all. Or the fact that you could see those images of people doing the wheelbarrows full of paper currency to go buy a gallon of milk. So that's one of those reasons. I have a 10th grader who always asks and is like, Mr. Donnelly, why don't we just print more money to get out of debt? And I always try to say to her, be like, because it's going to cause absurd hyperinflation. And she just doesn't get it. And that's the problem. If you just increase the amount of money in the circular flow, prices are going to skyrocket. And that's a really bad thing. That's the same thing, guys. We don't want to have hyperinflation because what you're going to find, again, my example from the chronic inflation, Mighty Tacos are now going for $5 a piece, but I'm still making the same amount of money that I was making when they were $1.79. No one's going to be able to buy Mighty Tacos anymore. And the Mighty Taco, I guess, in the midst of like a recession, no one would care. But if all of a sudden that same principle held true with like eggs or milk or products that we really need, that would be a huge problem for the American citizens and the economy. All right, guys, that wraps up the trilogy. Check Google Classroom for all the assignments that you're going to have for this week. There's a couple different things I'm going to ask you guys to do, so please make sure that you're paying attention. I'm going to put that all in the stream so that you're going to have access to it, so just kind of run it down as a checklist. I'll give you some time to do it. I'm not going to rush you guys through this, but please make sure, keep getting those assignments in. I cannot stress that enough, guys. I know that you're ready to be done, and I know that this distance learning thing is not the easiest thing in the world. But guys, I really can't make the assignments any more straightforward and direct for you. So please make sure, take the time, get your work done, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon. All the best. Take care. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Mr. D.